I want to talk to you about joy in the morning. Just for a few minutes, we're going to talk about facing the music of your past and learning to dance to that music. Everybody has a past. Some of us, we have past we're not proud of. The social media, Google, Facebook, it's hard to keep a secret a secret. Used to be, you go to the library. If you really wanted some specifics, you had to go to the library. And I don't know how old you guys are, but you have to get on the microfiche and look up things. Or hire an attorney if you wanted to get the scoop on somebody. But now all you got to do is Google. There's cameras everywhere, and you go to Google and you type a keyword and you can find out anything about anybody, their ex-husbands, ex-wives, their past time, their past reputations. It's on real time now. And it's also in prime time. You remember when back in the 70s, you're a baby, but they had something called streaking, where people tear their clothes off and run through the street. Well, they may have had pictures of you back then. They can be on Google now. You'd never do it today, but your college nudity and your DUIs and your mug shots, it's fodder. Even if you've completely changed, the public loves a good story. There are a lot of politicians who've withdrawn from races, and it's 30 years ago, but still something popped up and they have to withdraw because the world is unforgiving. Walmart and Kroger's, you know, you be in places like that, they have iPhones and cell phones. You know, I be seeing on television, they take pictures of people. This is obesity in America. Those people didn't volunteer to be your you know, part of your survey. And here you're walking and you don't even know your belly and your rear is being, you know, you pick your nose the wrong way. It can be on Twitter and Facebook tomorrow. So old mistakes and old lifestyles and bad choices, the world is not forgiving. Everybody loves a good story. And unfortunately, good news is not a good story. Nobody concerned about your reputation, or they're not concerned about your families being ripped apart. A man being faithful to his wife might be good news, but it's not a good story. Family dysfunction and dishonoring your marriage, now that's a good story. Our past can become our greatest challenge, even in our own minds. Past failures, unfortunate upbringing can cause you to limit yourself and not reach your full potential. You were brave and you were courageous until you heard some music playing. Old music, tunes that haunt you, music from the past. And you know what I found out? People will sometimes remind you of your past to humble you and to intimidate you. I've seen people in authority do that to people they wanted subservient to them, remind you that you used to be in prison and you used to. You had the upper hand until somebody got to digging up old bones. But it's time to stop running from your past. It's time to face the music of your past and learn to start dancing to that music. You got to understand that the Bible mirrors everything that happens to us today. It's a book that never is old. King David, one of the greatest kings to rule Israel, had skeletons in his family closet. His great-great-grandmother was a prostitute. Her name was Rahab, and she ran a cat house up on the hill in Jericho. She ran a very lucrative business. She was a madame, and she had regular customers. Her family was ashamed of her, and they wouldn't be caught dead near Rahab's place. We all have family secrets. We all have family members we're a little bit ashamed of. But when you've been predestined for greatness, your dark past can become a resume rather than a disgrace. King David would give permission, if he was alive today, he said, dig up my past. Yeah, great-great-grandma was a prostitute, but have you heard the whole story? She ran a cat house on the hill in Jericho, but right before the war between Joshua and Jericho, right before it was destroyed, she came up on 2 of Joshua's soldiers, and she hid them from the authorities. Then she made a bargain for her life. She knew these 2 men were not customers. They came to spy out the city to destroy it. She told the soldiers, I heard about your God and what he did for Moses in the Red Sea, and I know you're going to take this city. But she said, I want to be saved. And guess what? The family that was ashamed of her, she said, and save my family. Here, this was a hooker that ran the cat house, but she was a believer that wanted to be saved. Only God knows the heart. We judge what we see somebody doing, but we don't know their hearts. She was running her business, but in her heart, she was a believer, no matter what she was doing. Soldiers told her, they said, I tell you what, Miss Rahab, if you hang this red rope outside your window, when we come to destroy this city, we're going to look for the red rope on your house. You see if your house got the right thing on it. That house is going to be saved. Doesn't matter what was done in that house. You do what you're told and get that red hanging out there, which is indicative of when the children of Israel put the blood on the doorpost. It's indicative, is whatever's there, if that crimson is there, this house is saved. Soldier said, tell your family, only those in this house will be saved. Well, what a turn of events. The cat house, where her family would not be caught dead, now that's the only place they could go not to die. Meet at Rahab's place up on the hill. A house of ill repute became a place of refuge and a saving station. All of a sudden, here comes Mom and Dad and Uncle Jojo and Aunt Katie Mae and everybody that heard the message of salvation from a hooker that lived up on the hill. Over a week later, Joshua won the battle of Jericho, and y'all heard the walls came tumbling down. But before he set that city on fire, he told his soldiers, he said, go keep your promise to Rahab. Look for the red rope marked for salvation. They found her house, saw the red rope hanging outside, knocked on the door and said, Miss Rahab, time to go. And they led her family outside the city. Then they set that city on fire and burned it down. Rahab changed her life, became a preacher's wife, a mother, grandmother, and great-great-grandmother to the greatest king to ever rule Israel, which was King David, because of her faith and her obedience. David had skeletons rattling in his family closet, but it was those old bones that made him the king that he became. We all have things in our past. Those things can be turned into a necessary milestone to get you where you are today. So go ahead. Get on the internet if you want to dig. Dig. I'll hand you a shovel. I'm not ashamed, because whatever you dig up, God will turn it into a Fort Knox treasure. It's why I am who I am today. So he'll turn the dirt into gold dust. He'll turn the garbage into glory. He'll turn the trash into triumph. And he'll turn the nasty into notable and nobility. It's because of that I have this. So since I have this, I'm not worried about that anymore. I've learned to face the music of my past, and I've learned to dance. I even got a little step to it. So dig up those old bones, because God has turned those bones into gold bullion. And I'll place the value of those old bones next to your PhD, your MD, your CEO, your A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And you'll find out I'm doing fine because I got G-O-D. And I'm H-A-P-P-Y. Joy in the morning.